James Brown and George Clinton, they're not just producing music. They're producing a conception of what it means to be human by trying to keep it on the ground, to keep at arm's length all of the cheap, deodorized, manicured, sanitized, and sterilized versions of reality under surveillance. Like the U.S. Constitution when it was written, talking about freedom and liberty with no reference to the institution of slavery, deodorized, sanitized, and sterilized. Don't want to talk about the folk in your midst, namely your enslaved folk who's constituting the very basis of your economy and producing wealth that constitutes the precondition of your democracy. Blues people keeping track of the funky side of things. And just like the American Hamlet and the white literary blues man, our dear brother Tennessee Williams in A Streetcar Named Desire, and that American Hamlet, Blanche DuBois, living in a world of make-believe in some superficial house of cards and not thinking that sooner or later reality, history, mortality will shatter that make-believe world, that Disneyland-like world, that Peter Pan-like world, always innocent, always pure, always some city on the hill as if you're not standing on somebody else's land. Like indigenous peoples. And think that somehow chickens don't come home to roost. You don't reap what you sow. As if what's in the wash doesn't come out in the rinse. That's the history of black people in America. And not just of black people, but even white brothers and sisters, and brown, and yellow, and red, who choose to have a blues sensibility. To be concerned about folk catching hell, to have a hypersensitivity to the pain and suffering of the wretched of the earth. It could be the elderly, it could be disabled, it could be women wrestling with domestic violence, it could be gay brothers and lesbian sisters dealing with being spit on and scorned, it could be workers in the face of arrogant bosses, it could be Americans thinking that somehow they are so chosen. Oh, so special. An American baby has more value than a precious baby in China, or a precious baby in Bolivia, or a precious baby on the West Bank, or a precious baby in Tel Aviv, or a precious baby in Cuba, or a precious baby in Venezuela. Where do we get this notion that somehow God is just winking at us? Unconcerned with the rest of humanity. That's the tradition we're trying to keep alive when we talk about hope on a tightrope. But my dear brother Tavis Smiley came up with the idea, and it is Smiley Books, you know. It's his book publishing company. I'm proud to work with my brother, the publisher. Oh, yeah. Glorious thing. Work with it. Try to lay bare the witness of those who came before. This is what I tell my dear brother Barack over and over again. That when you look at those tears that Tuesday night, oh, they were so precious. Priceless tears. Brothers and sisters on the block, in front of the mosques and synagogues and churches of all colors, crying on the reservation. White brothers crying out in the vanilla suburbs. And so many black folk thinking about the memories. Slavery, Jim Crow, Jane Crow. All the strange fruit the southern trees bear. Black bodies swaying in the southern breeze. The discrimination. Black folk taught to hate themselves and told they have the wrong hips and lips and hair texture and color. Wrestling with the spiritual death of the crack houses of folks just giving up. Or the middle class cowardly bourgeois Negroes who just give up on Jamal on the corner and Letitia around the block. You just want to be successful by becoming well-adjusted to injustice. Even some of them will cry. I said, yeah, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. The tears of our dear brother Jesse Jackson, they were real. I love that brother. He's a towering figure. His genius is not fully appreciated. Mainly because his ego is strong. That's all right. There's a lot of different kind of Negroes in the world, y'all. Even with Negroes with big egos can be a force for good. He's just not Martin, that's all. Martin got more love. Martin got a smaller ego. He's got more spiritual development than Jesse. That's all right. Jesse's still a strong brother when he gets home right. Different kind of people in the world. But his tears were real. Because tears signify the fact that endings are real. And you cry standing before the coffin of your mother. Where you're most human, you have to bring together the three dimensions of time, the past, present, and the future. Now you are the quick, she is the dead. What is your relation to the legacy? You're going to cry because an ending has taken place and it is irreversible. Her body's not coming back. That's what's precious about tears. It has a truth to it. You've got to come to terms with it. And the question becomes, what kind of strength do you have? And so many of those tears of our fellow citizens and tears of fellow human beings all around the world had to do with the fact that we have come to the end of the age of Ronald Reagan. And the epic of the Southern strategy is over. The scare tactics didn't work. Brother McCain in the last minute tried everything. Brings in Sister Sarah. It doesn't work. It didn't work. It's over. Trying to scare folk. Here's a Negro. There's a Negro. There's a Muslim. There's a terrorist. There's a so-and-so. There's a gay. It had some impact in certain pockets. But the vast majority of voters said no. Oh, that's what's beautiful about it. And you bet your bottom dollar there will be a white backlash. It will be the death rattle of that era that's over. It will be the last gaps of that epic that's over. And the one